Hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about a character that is from Limbo and he escaped from the penal planet number 10. And of course, we're talking about the villain known as Monstar. Now, Monstar is a mob boss and he is also the main antagonist of the Silverhawks, and especially Stargazer, who is basically the commander of the Silverhawks, and he's an older guy with over maybe 300 years of keeping order in the area of Limbo. Now, in the pilot of the Silverhawks, the character of Monstar is actually a quintillionaire, not a millionaire, not a trillionaire, a quintillionaire. Move over Tony Stark, move over Wakanda, move over anybody on Earth. And he escaped penal planet number 10 during the plot. Altogether, in the whole entire show, he actually escapes this penal colony 2 different times. Now, he was voiced by the late Earl Hammond, who happened to also play Mumra in the original Thundercats and Prince Paul in The Secret of Anastasia. Now, just like everyone else in the show, he gets a pet. They get a pet, they all get some type of pet, usually in the form of a bird. In Monstar's case, Hardware develops a fighting hawk for Monstar called the Sky Shadow, which is basically a small dragon-like space-type alien creature. Now, Monstar is the head of the Limbo mob and functions as the local criminal kingpin. He's been around Limbo for over 300 years and escaped from the penal planet 10, which is a maximum security prison. He gets his powers from a transformation of the Moonstar, and he can transform into a larger version of himself as well as a crazy looking, very metallic, reddish looking armored version of himself. He has a personal vendetta against Stargazer for his second capture, and likewise all who align themselves with the Silverhawks or Stargazer himself. And he also had previous battles with another character named Condor, which happens to be a older version of the current iteration of Silverhawks. Now, Monstar at times has appeared to actually enjoy doing battle with the Silverhawks. He also seems to forgive, or at the very least hide, previous conflicts with his gang members. Now, we happen to think this may be due more to his need for their abilities than any kind of compassion or mercy in his character. Now, Monstar's mob consists of several different characters, and the mob usually is represented by Monstar and Yes Man, with 2 or 3 members performing the main actions at any given time. Monstar, after his transformation, also tends to ride Skyrunner, a large armored squid. Some of the mob are more in association with Monstar than the actual regulars, and Zero is being the clearest example of this. Now, Monstar's crew consists of Sky Shadow, which happens to be his bird-like creature that is next to him all the time, Yes Man, Skyrunner, Hardware, Prowler, Melodia, Windhammer, Molecular, which we should probably go ahead and do a video on anyway, because that is a crazy character, Vulture, Pokerface, Mumbo Jumbo, which happens to have a character alongside of him named Airshock, Buzzsaw, Time Stopper, Zero the Memory Thief, Smiley, Darkbird, and of course Silverhawk clones. Now, Monstar's powers and abilities are quite exaggerated and different depending on whether or not he has the Moonstar power. Now, in his normal form, Monstar is just basically a cruel and cunning criminal, and he maintains an iron grip on the Limbo underworld, and hardly any dare to question his action without his approval, which usually does come with a price tag. He also has above normal strength and is capable of beating through an armored plate to gain the light of Limbo's Moonstar. While not seen very often in the show, he can use his light star ability for simple punishment of others, and this ability comes from his very jacked up star looking eye. Now, in his transformed form, he needs the light of Limbo's Moonstar to hit him. And once he does this, he becomes entirely covered in robotic armor. His strength is even many times greater than his normal form. He has jets on his elbows that he can use to fly through space or fire red energy blasts. He tends to use the light star in his transformed form for causing the most damage, to hold a foe or hypnotize his foes even. Now beyond that is a transformed form that is also energized. At one time, he actually comes into possession of a fragment of the moon star called a moon stone. When he transformed into his armored form while holding it, it magnified his powers greatly, giving the power to fire energy blasts from his hands as well as super strength. He was also shown to have a form of levitation. Now, with just about all 80s TV shows, the villain has a major weakness, and in this case, Monstar is no different. A shot of the disintegrator, which is a gun that basically takes everything apart. So if you aimed it at a tank, the tank would just literally just fall apart. It would one-shot tanks, it would one-shot space shuttles, spaceships of any size. The only catch with this weapon is that it does not work on the color gold. One shot of the disintegrator gun was shown to cause Monstar to lose his armor and revert back to his normal form. The same was also shown when he was shocked with a great amount of electricity. Now, all in all, Monstar is a cunning strategist and a capable leader who's able to command his mob and orchestrate impressive crimes with excellent proficiency. Now, being that he's super rich, he will hire bounty hunters, he will create clones, he will do whatever it takes to get rid of Quicksilver and anybody else that is messing around in Limbo. Anyway, this is all we know on Monstar, the character from the 80s show Silverhawks. Anyways, you have a good night, a good morning, a good evening, whichever. Please like, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate that. Also, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think of this video, as well as maybe write down a character down below that you would like us to talk about here on this channel. As always, Excelsior.